Hello and welcome to another edition of I Want a Break Holiday, where we are still looking at Australia and still looking at Sydney. So I thought you can't look at Sydney without looking at the Sydney Harbour Bridge. So here's a fab picture of the bridge. So that's the top. It's a lovely sunset, isn't it? And it's huge. And it spans the whole of the harbour. It can take road, so cars and trains and pedestrians as well. It's iconic with Sydney. And whenever anybody sees it, they instantly think of Australia, particularly Sydney. It's nearly always used for the fireworks display on New Year's Eve, and it's one of the first displays to signify the beginning of the new year. It's iconic of Australia, and some people making films, etc., use the bridge to demonstrate that the film is set in Australia. So yeah, it's a iconic bridge. It was built in 1934, I think. Oh, 1932. It says down there. 1932. It took 8 years. Cost £4.2 million, which is equivalent to £234 million today. So that's quite a lot of money. And it's in Australia. Let's have a look and see what else it says about it. So it's a landmark bridge across the Sydney Harbour. The Sydney Harbour Bridge is a steel arch bridge built in 1932, as I said, carries road, rail, traffic and pedestrians, connects the Sydney's central business district to the North Shore. It's nicknamed the coat hanger because of its arch design. It's 1,149 metres long and 48.8 metres wide. It's the world's tallest steel arch bridge, measuring 134 metres from the water below to the top. And it's the 6th longest spanning arch bridge in the world. The structure, along with the Sydney Opera House and the harbour itself, is one of the most famous images in Australia. There you go, I told you. Frequently used in film to establish that it's set in Australia. So proposal for the bridge was as early as 1815. So the British architect suggested it had been transported to Australia for forgery. There we go. So planning got underway in 1914 when John Bradfield appointed chief engineer for a bridge scheme. Bradfield got the idea from the design after visiting America in 1921 from a New York bridge. New South Wales government ran a tendering process, sort of a competition. 6 companies bidded, and the British firm Dorman Long and Company, who built the Newcastle's Tyne Bridge, got the contract. The arch design was chosen over a suspension bridge as a possible, as city bosses thought it would be better suited to the heavy traffic. So it's opened up the north side of the harbour and allowed Sydney to expand to the north. The bridge was built. Crossing the harbour meant taking a ferry boat, so that's why it was built, so people could make the journey more quickly. Improved communications in the Sydney area and the movement of goods and people. This bridge is interesting because it was built from both sides and then met in the middle. So that's quite interesting. So, and it took 4 years to build. 14,000 workers helped make it and 16 were killed. All right, I have another tab that I wanted to show you, which has pictures of that very thin. Bear with me. That one. So let's go to the top of it. If it'll let me. There we are. Yeah. Oh. Right, sorry. Look, there's the man at the top. Look. Oh, it's difficult to control this. I don't think I can do it. It's not letting me. Hang on. See if I can do it more slowly. There we go. That's the picture I wanted to show you from the bridge from both sides before it met in the middle. That's an amazing picture. I can't really show you this because it's not letting me do it properly. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed my video about the bridge. People can now climb across the bridge, and that started in the early 2000s, I think. Was it 1998, something like that? So you can climb across it if you want to. And this is what this talks about. So you have to be 8 and above. Safety is a top priority, and climbers will go through a briefing. You have to wear comfortable clothes and proper shoes. And you have a harness and a hat. Probably a safety hat. And you can't take any pictures because you're not allowed to take loose items across the bridge. Oh, look. Yeah, there's people going across. Yeah. And a fantastic view of the city and the Sydney Opera House as well. So looks quite interesting and definitely something you should look into if you ever get the chance to go to Sydney in Australia. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and share my page and follow our channel. Thank you. Oh, that's annoying.